Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only, just David. You would think that I would check my mic and do all of this nonsense before I hit record. You know, recording these episodes sometimes is like going to the gym. Like you're in place, you're ready to start, and then sometimes, somehow, it's 10 to 15 minutes later. And then even if everything is not perfect, you're like, I'm over this. We're pressing record or we're pressing start on the treadmill. Anyone else get to the gym and then just like take a minute to start? I just went to the gym this morning and my neighbor was like talking to me and I love her. And I'm like, oh, I'm actually here, man. Like, I don't want this. Like, let me start. So, look, where are we going to start? As I shuffle my notes, I don't even understand my own notes sometimes. Salt Lake Housewives. Everybody want to recap Salt Lake Housewives and then maybe do some OC and Jersey as we move on. So, we start this episode. There's not really too much going on. We are seeing some of the ladies. We see Whitney unpacking in her new house. Yada, 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 yada. We have this car ride between Bronwyn, the new Bronwyn, and Lisa. A lot of you have slipped into the DMs. A lot of you like this new Bronwyn. A lot of you don't like her. But we have this car ride between Bronwyn and Lisa. I thought it was really funny how the phone is ringing and Lisa tells Bronwyn to be quiet. Bronwyn just follows. I mean, what? She doesn't want Angie to know anyone else is in the car. I don't know. Yeah, I'm starting in the weeds here, okay? How is everybody doing? First of all, welcome. It's a Saturday. And by the way, I love cold weather. I don't like the summer. So I can't help it. I really think that's part of why I love Salt Lake so much. I love the background. I love the snow. I love not seeing the beach on Orange County. I'm just not a beach person. So we're learning about that. We're going to some of the different houses. We see Heather's new house. I mean, I gotta say, Angie's house really is, out of all the houses, my style. It's on the market, I think, for like 4 or 4.5. It's definitely on the market for one of those. That view of the mountains, but I'm not buying a $4 million house in Utah. So I don't know about all of you. But hey, is Utah one of the states that doesn't have tax? I think so, right? I'm confused. Nevada doesn't have tax. But anyway, nice house. That's my favorite. We see Sean Trujillo, Angie's husband, past Behind the Velvet Rope podcast guest. And I love that we're just getting to know everyone. So we're in the car, and Bronwyn and Lisa were talking about not only Brittany with an I. And by the way, some I names are okay. Someone named Ashley who listens to our Patreon explained to me that she's Ashley with an I. Sorry, Ashley. I don't know. I think it's the Brittany. I think it's the Brittany. And then later in the episode, did you catch it? Whitney's friend Melly. We're not even calling her Melly. We're calling her. I hyphenated it out as they said it, but it wasn't Melly, even though it's spelled like Melly. I don't know. It's a bad sign when we're lost in the weeds here on Salt Lake Housewives. Not a bad episode. I still think these women are batshit in the best way possible. But, here we are, episode 2, and we're already slowing it down. If you really think about it, I mean, are we in another Housewives, another show, another season, another franchise that there's just really not? Look, I really think certain Housewife shows get lucky. I mean, Teresa's the gift that keeps giving. We had Luann. We got lucky this season on OC, although some of you think OC is boring with Shannon and the DUI and Alexis. So, I mean, that was a real life storyline. I don't know. We're obviously not going to have that here. I'm still liking it. Mary is not happy. Do not call Mary Cosby poor. Do not call her poor. And she explains to us. Last week we learned, I mean, do you realize we learned something from Miss Cosby every single week? Last week we learned that if you eat a big chunk of red meat. Now, forget what the doctors tell you. Forget what we've known all these years. If you eat a big chunk of red meat, that shit's going to sit in you and not digest. So don't eat red meat. This week, we learned from Miss Cosby that don't ever call her poor, because if you're poor, it means that God is ungrateful, or that you're ungrateful to God. One of those. I can't even read my own handwriting. But she says, don't ever call her poor, because that means that God's ungrateful. So that's how you justify all those Gucci's and Dior's, Mary. We heard rumors about her in the church and asking people to donate. Remember that leaked audio we had like a few years ago, when apparently it was Mary and she was saying, like, these fucking cheap church people, and I need to buy Dior, and look, they only gave me $1. You remember that audio? Does everyone remember that audio? I gotta find that audio for you. And yes, I'm paraphrasing. Maybe it was Gucci instead of Dior, but maybe it was $2, but she was going off on the amount that the church people were giving her. So here we are, and we learned that, if you're poor, it means God is ungrateful to you. And God is not ungrateful to Mary Cosby. So therefore, she's rich. Now, I'm not saying that because I accept all people, but Mary's saying, don't ever call her poor. I mean, did Mary just insult the entire group in the world of poor people? Kind of. It means God's ungrateful, according to Miss Cosby. So I don't know about that. Now, she explains to us that her son, Robert, he asked for money. He has no job. He is not trying to get out of the house. He's not really, who would work if he could just live at home for free? Although living at home, I have a friend here in the Hamptons, and her parents actually have like a really big house. She's going to kill me for saying this. And she has her own house, which she bought. And she's always like, she's in between careers. She's always like, she's probably listening right now. Or at least Sam from Tudo, our friend down the street, is listening. And she always says, I should just sell my house and move in with my parents. And I'm like, yes, actually, yes, you should. She's like, but then I would have to live with my parents, which I understand. It's always easy to suggest someone lives with their own parents, right? When it's not your own parents. But she would have like a separate entrance to the downstairs. I'm like, girl, you could just make this whole downstairs yours, come and go as you please, sell your house, make some money. I don't know. I'd have gotten off track. But why would Robert ever want to leave? And Mary lets us know that she will kick him out one day. No, you won't, girl. You love Mary. Nothing makes Mary happier than waking up and having Robert there. And she would sit there and talk to him and play house and eat donuts all day. You know what I'm saying? So Robert Jr. And by the way, we will never see Robert Sr. on this show again. Anyone wondering where Mary's husband is? Just curious about that. So there we go. Now we meet Gwen. We realize that Bronwyn has a daughter. Her name is Gwen, and she had her when she was 19. More power to you, Bronwyn. I totally support. I love this. I love when someone just follows what they want to do. You ignore all the criticism. It's all good. And they're close in age, but she's looking forward to get together with her. She's looking forward to flying the coop and having her independence. Now, we eventually were in the car, and